the way for you to have what you want in your life, to feel fulfilled in your life, is to not be living based on someone else's ideas of what's okay and what's enough and what's right and what's wrong. So I'm just outside London, in just the edge of Kent, County Kent, staying with my wife's family. We're just here for a couple weeks to grab a visa for my wife and head to the States. So I was doing a talk last night in London for Escape the City, and I had a woman in the audience ask a question towards the end, which is kind of a weird question, never had before. Usually a lot of questions I have are stuff I've heard before, but her question was, I have a lot of things that I get excited about doing, and then I start it and it doesn't really work out, and I guess I'm just wondering if maybe one way to live with passion is just to live in the anticipation and the possibility that I could be doing more without actually having to do it. Could just that knowing that something more is possible, anticipating the possibility of that, could that in itself be an experience of fulfillment, which is enough to live with? And she asked this question. It took me a while to really figure out what she was asking. I had to get some clarification. But once I got it, I kind of stood there for a second. And so other people in the audience started to try to answer for her. And I tried to argue to her why it's not and this and that. But this thing, I wasn't going to be pulled into this trap. This question is a trap. And the reason it's a trap is because she was trying to get me to tell her what was enough for her. And it's really quick, subtle. Like, we do this all the time. We're always, I mean, I've caught myself doing this too. I do it all the time. Like, is this good enough? Is this, and this? But it's so toxic of a question. It's so toxic an orientation. Is asking somebody else what's enough for yourself. Asking somebody else what's good enough for yourself. Asking somebody else what the limit is, the boundary is for your own fulfillment. So I said to her, I kind of spoke up over everybody that was speaking in the room, and I was like, look, the only person who can answer that question is you. You're the only one that can determine what's enough for you. Is that enough? If living in the anticipation of possibility enough for you, if that's enough, then great, fantastic. But then I said, and more importantly, and this is what I really wanted to make this video about, is like the way for you to have what you want in your life, to feel fulfilled in your life, is to not be living based on someone else's ideas of what's okay and what's enough and what's right and what's wrong. It's to be self-expressive. It's to decide for yourself. And so I said to everybody in the room, it's like, you come out to talks like this to listen to some guy like me to try to get answers about what you should do for your life, and like, that's the problem. It was kind of weird because I was saying the problem is you've come here to listen to me, but I think they got what I was saying. It's like there's a middle ground, there's a middle way, there's a way to come and listen and to get insight and ideas and to see how that resonates with you, and for you to decide on the inside what it is that you really want, and you to decide to act from the inside and to not try to seek others' opinions as the sole source of your decision. You try not to decide through other people, but to decide from the inside out. I love Emerson's essay on self-reliance, and I also love the idea that doing it yourself is a toxic ideology, that we shouldn't have to do it ourselves. And so how do these things seem to crash into each other, don't they? Where either you love the DIY thing, and that's what self-reliance is, or you think that you should be doing stuff with other people and you shouldn't have to do everything on your own. No. See, these two things, there's a way in which they connect. Self-reliance, to me, doesn't mean that you live in an isolated box. It means that you rely on your own internal compass to make your decisions in your life, that you are willing to express yourself freely without hesitation or concern or needing approval. It doesn't mean you go at life alone. So you can go out into the world and learn from people and study with people and even be coached by people, whatever, and at the same time make all your decisions from your own inner compass. Not be asking for approval or permission or for somebody else to draw your lines for you, because when you do that, you live somebody else's life, you're on somebody else's path, and the fulfillment you're seeking through either anticipation or actuality is always going to evade you. So stop making decisions based on other people's opinions. Get in touch with your own. Have the courage, the bravery to be self-reliant from the inside out. Much love.